7 has practicing Linux and VI editor command. So more often than not, when you're working in an establishment, say maybe in a bank, a telco, whatever, the big data environment more often than not is set up within a Linux kind of environment. So today, from page 7 of your lab book, we are going to be practicing some of those Linux. We are going to be practicing some of those Linux commands. So we are not going to be talking things that you can easily read between page number 1 and page number 6. So we will start from page number 7. So if you are on that page, I just want you to raise up your hand. If you're on that page and you're following me, just raise up your hand. Thank you. I can see Osazo is already raising up his hand. But if you are following me from Microsoft Team, just raise up your hand so that I can know that we're on the same page. Thank you, Ayola, for doing that. I learned that just this week, you know. So I'm expecting other people to raise up their hand so that I can know that we're on the same page. Tunde, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please raise up your hand so that I can know that you are there. Then Smiler, Mary, Ogidi, Eric, can you please raise up your hand so that I can be sure that we are following? Great. Please bring it down. Thank you. Thank you. Please bring it down today. Eric, great. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen like in the next 10 minutes. So where it's Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Teams. Please bring down your hand. Thank you. And sharing. It's loading. I'm sharing my desktop and I'm sharing application. Here it's shared. So you can see Mary's screen is shared. Yes. Yeah, you can see that Mary's screen is shared. So for those that have set up the virtual learning environment, if you set up the virtual learning environment, you'll be able to do that. You just need to go to VMware, launch VMware, click on the image on your VMware, and then launch the image. Once you launch the image, it's a Linux environment. Once you launch the image, then you log in with HD user is a username, HD user is the password. Once you log in into that environment, then you launch. Okay, I'm going to close this and launch it again. Please mute your microphone so that I will not be getting feedback from you. Yes. So this is the desktop. This is actually what the desktop look like. Let me change the desktop background so that I can really look like a real desktop background. Speak up, please. Speak up so that everybody can hear your channel.
I'm not on Teams. So
you're not on Teams?
Yeah, because I'm here.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I need to connect it to the TV. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting to the TV now so that you can follow. Or you can also come around, exactly. Come around so that I can be on the same page. Yes, so this is the Linux, this is the virtual environment. It is a virtual environment, and it's a Linux environment. Exactly, you're on the same page. So I can see that you are on the same page with me. Please, yeah. So this might be difficult now. Some people may just have to follow because they have not been able to set up this virtual learning environment on their PC. So you will just probably watch what we are doing. I think there are a few other people at the other side, Tunde Ayola, that have already set this up. So you'll be able to follow this. So you launch terminal. You launch terminal on your screen. Yes, maybe I'm too fast. So before this, I'll just take time to introduce what we are going to be doing today. So today, we are going to be practicing some Linux command. And why this is very important is the Hadoop environment itself, the big data environment itself is like Linux command. It's like Linux command. So when you are launching Hadoop, we spent time to talk about Hadoop last week, Friday and Saturday. If you are launching Hadoop, if you are launching data nodes, if you are launching, we talked about data nodes, we talked about name nodes, we talked about data blocks. If you are going to be, we talked about HBase last week. We also spoke about Hive last week. If you are going to be interacting with this environment, whether you are starting them up or you are shutting them down, it's a little bit like Linux command. So it is good to master. It's good to master Linux commands. If you understand. So this particular environment where I am now, it's that Linux. Linux environment. So you would need to set up that virtual learning environment on your PC to be able to be on this particular page. So today, essentially, is to practice Linux command and to practice VI editor command. The VI editor command, it's very simple, but that is where people usually have challenges in this class. But I will try my best. I will not rush. Take it as easy as possible. And if you have any question, please stop me, because when you stop me and ask a question, I think other people in the class are going to be learning from those questions. So Linux command can be in maybe regular mode or insert mode. We are going to be looking at those different modes where Linux environment can be. And I'm reading from page 8. I'm on page 8 of our virtual of the workbook. Yeah, of the workbook. I'm on page 8. So today we'll be looking at how to change directory, how to create a tar file, how to find a file. So if you have created a file within your Linux environment, or you've created a big data file, how do you search for that file? How do you print the content of a file? How do you change the permission rights? So we will talk about data security. Data security is one of those things that you have to really pay attention to. So when you create a file, how do you grant access to people to access the file? How do you revoke access from people to access that file? Or how do you create a group of users and then allow them to be able to access that file? We are going to be looking at all of that. Access permission. How do you change the owner of the file? You can create a file, assign somebody else to be the owner of that file. That is also applicable in the big data environment. It's applicable when you are in the Hadoop environment. How do you terminate a process? In some cases, a process can hang. A process can slow down your PC. How do you terminate that process? We'll be looking at that. How do you search for a file? How do you list the content of a directory? Listing the content of a directory is that you are in a folder, but you want to know what files are in that folder or what folders are in that folder. Those are some of the things that we'll be looking at. How to move files from one folder to another folder. We'll be looking at that. How to print your working directory. Working directory is where are you at a particular point in time. So please feel free to ask me any question by the time we get started with this. And we'll be starting right away from page number 10. So the first thing we are going to be practicing is how to change the working directory. How to change the working directory, but I'm flipping that a little bit. How do you determine your present working directory? How do you determine your present working directory? I will close this virtual learning environment again and launch it again so that I can see how I got to this particular page. So I close this. So how I got here, first of all, I launched, so this particular computer has, VMware Workstation. Here is VMware Workstation. I launched VMware Workstation. So once you launch VMware Workstation, you will have a VMware image. That's, oh wow. Okay, I think you are not seeing my screen. I'm going to disconnect. Let me disconnect. I'll stop sharing. Yeah. So I'm stopping the share and I'm going to share again so that you can see my screen. So I'm sharing the whole of my desktop this time around. Okay. So now, so here's my desktop. You can see my desktop. So in this particular desktop, I have a VMware workstation. So for those that have properly set up this, you have the VMware workstation set up. So when you double click on it, it shows you the VMware, all the different VMware images that are live on your PC, that have been set up on your PC. It's going to show you all the VMware images on your PC. So it's possible to have up to 3 or 4 or 5 images on your PC. And that is the concept of virtualization that we spoke about last week. Yes, I think what I will do is that I'm shutting this down. I'm closing this. I just want to power off. I'll close it. So I will explain the concept of virtualization that we spoke about last week. Remember, we said that there can be a gigantic machine, or you can buy a big server and then you now partition that server into smaller bits of computer. So we'll just look at how that can be done here. So with VMware, that is possible with VMware. So if you launch VMware, I'm launching VMware. So this is VMware on the screen. I'm launching it, and it's coming up. So here is VMware. So these are the images. Here is one of the images. This is the image for this particular class. Okay. Please, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, great. So,
Yes,
so here, thank you. So this is the image. So you can actually have multiple images. You can have as many images as the machine can take, as the machine can carry. So now you are seeing my computer, but what I'm about to do now is that I'm about to launch another computer on top of my computer, and it's possible for you to launch like up to maybe 5 or 6 or 7, as many as your physical computer can carry. It's possible to launch as many computers on that. So I'm launching this, and this concept is called virtualization. Yeah, so this is the concept of virtualization. So it's virtualization that made it possible. So if I have another VMware machine, I can launch another one. So this black screen now that is starting up is one computer. If I launch another one again, it's another computer that is also starting up on my PC. So it's now going to appear as if I have 3 PCs all together. So now I'm logging into this computer, HD user. So remember, I have my own physical computer. Now this is a virtual computer on my PC. I can also have other virtual computers on my PC. That is virtualization. Yeah. So what that helps you to achieve is that you can do multiple things. You can share your job. The task can be shared across those multiple computers. Remember, you get. So we talked about you have a big job. The big job is shared among multiple pieces. So with this concept, you can share that job across multiple computers, even though it is one physical layer that is getting it done. But with the virtualization tool, the job is divided into smaller bits and it gets done a lot faster. So now I'm launching terminal for the practicing of Linux command. So you come to terminal and you double click terminal, and then it comes up. I want to power my laptop. I will just step out. I'll step out for 30 seconds, then I'll come back. I'll come back to my seat again. I want to power my laptop so that it does not go off. Okay. So back. Please, if anything is not clear, feel free to stop me at any point in time. So the first task is, where are we? Where are we working from? That is called directory. A lot of us are used to a lot of us are used to Windows. So because you are used to Windows, you may not be able to relate with some of these things that you are talking about, but it's the same concept. It's the same concept. So what Mr. Bill Gates did is that he felt that Linux is too complex for people, for an ordinary user. You know, that Linux is too complex. So he now built a graphical user interface around that Linux thing. You know, he now made it easy so you can click and click to navigate from one point to the other. But for those things that you are clicking, there are actually some commands at the back end that are operating on those clicks, you know. So it's some of those commands that you are going to be working on this evening. So this elevates you from being an ordinary computer user to be an expert computer user. So you need to just open your mind to believe that you can become that expert. So what is my present working directory? That means at times you log into your computer, you have your desktop open. So you are working from your desktop. In some cases, you can navigate to my documents. In some cases, you can navigate to your C drive. In some cases, you can navigate to a particular folder that you store on your desktop at any particular point in time. So that point where you navigate to is your present working directory. So in this case, how do I know my present working directory? The command is pwd. Pwd tells me my present working directory. So if you type pwd on your screen, it shows you your present working directory. That means that is where you are working from at this particular point in time. You can actually move around. You can move around, but for now, this is the present working directory, and the present working directory is /home/hd user. So pwd is just pwd, as simple as pwd. Enter, yes. Pwd shows you your present working directory. So now the first task that you have here on page 10 of your textbook is, how do you change your present working directory? So assuming I'm in this location and I want to move from this location to the desktop, for instance, I want to move from this location to the desktop. How do I change my present working directory? So it's going to be cd/home. This is where I am currently, /home/hd user. But I want to move to desktop. I'll do /desktop. So what it means is that this cd means change directory to /home/hd user/desktop. That is the meaning of this particular command. Just change your directory to this location, and if you click enter, it takes you to the desktop. Yeah, when you click enter, it takes you to the desktop. I'm going to be slow with this, and if you want to be sure that you are at the desktop, type pwd again. If you type pwd, your directory now has changed. Before, it used to be /home/hd user. Now it has moved to /home/hd user/desktop. Now the problem is that Linux is case sensitive. If desktop is capital D, if you type small d, it's not going to work. Desktop, yeah. So yeah. So it's case sensitive. So if you go and type small d for desktop, it's not going to work. So I want you to try that and let me know if it is working on your side.
Hi, Blessing.
Hi.
Yes, this is Titi. Trying to draw you back. This your change directory, the CD. There's a space there. Is it mandatory or is optional?
No,
There's
so
a
you
space,
can
your CD.
Yes, so let's see it. So I'm removing that space in front of my CD and I'm trying it again. You see, it's not moving, it's not working, it's throwing an error. It's saying that no file or such directory exists. So you can see that it's throwing an error. So that space, so the way it is, the format is, there's a command and there's a space. Then the next parameter. So a command takes one or multiple parameters. In fact, there are commands that don't even take any parameter at all. But for any command that takes one or more parameters, there must be a space that separates those parameters. You understand? So in this case, there is cd, there's a space slash home slash hd user slash desktop. So here is it. And so this will change the directory. No, slash home slash AD user slash desktop. Yeah, slash home slash AD user slash desktop.
Open the door, tell her your teacher is outside.
Okay, so now desktop is capital D. If you use small d for desktop, it's not going to work. But in Windows, please mute your microphone. In Windows, in Windows, it's not really a problem in Windows, but in Linux, it's very important that you are case sensitive. Let me show you how this works in Windows. So this is the Windows environment. There is command prompt, CMD. Some of you see this, you probably cannot relate with it. So here is command prompt in the Windows environment. Yeah, so here is command prompt in the Windows environment. So PWD will not work in this case because this is Windows. PWD is not going to work because it's Windows. But the equivalence for Windows is DIR. The equivalence of PWD in Windows on your Windows computer is DIR. You can, is it DIR? No, it's not DIR. Sorry. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what it is. But CD, if you want to change directly to desktop, you can just do this. CD slash C slash user slash Chidera slash desktop. So in Windows, here is it. If I change this to small d in Windows, Windows does not care. Windows is going to take it. You can see. So my present working directory now has changed to C slash user slash Chidera slash desktop. You know, Windows is case insensitive. But when you are working in Linux, I'll go back to the Linux environment. If you are working in Linux, if you come back here, it's case sensitive. So you need to be mindful of that. So you might feel as if you are doing the right thing and you are getting a mistake continuously. It might just be because something that should be case sensitive, you are doing, you are using case insensitive command. Then so you can clear your screen. If you want to clear your screen, if you type the command clear, it will help you to clear your screen. So if you want to clear your screen, just type clear. Clear clears your screen. Enter. Yeah, clear clears your screen. So if you have done a lot of command on your screen and you just want to clear it, once you just type command clear, it clears the screen. There are some other commands. There is the root directory. Root directory is like the C drive. If you want to go to the root directory of your computer, root directory is like your root directory. How do you explain root directory? So if you look at your computer, there is the disk location, the home location where you install your Windows file. That is like the C directory. So in Linux, if you want to change directory to the root directory, just do cd root. This forward slash is the root directory. So if you do this, it will take you to the root directory. cd / it takes you to, remember there's a space, cd space then // it takes you to the root directory. Why this is important again, remember, is that in Hadoop you are going to be writing this type of command. You know, whether you're on HBase or you're on Hive, at least you are going to be doing some commanding, or you are going to be starting data node or name nodes, as we discussed last week. You are going to be needing this command, you know, in order to be able to do this. So you have cd/. So if you check your present working directory again, so what would the present working directory be in this case? I'm asking us as well. What would the present working directory be in this case?
Desktop.
No, it's going to be that /. So if you do this, the working directory, because we have changed our directory from home/ad user, we've changed it to /. We've changed it to /. So the present working directory now is this /. We can switch from where we are currently to where we were previously. So to do that is cd-. When you do cd-, it will take you back to where you were before. Now, where I was before was /home/ad user/desktop, and that is what is showing here. If I want to switch to where I was before I came here, I was on root directory before I came here now. So if I do cd-, it toggles between the past two working directories. So you can easily switch. So if you want to move around from one working directory to another working directory, that can quickly help you to switch. So I hope you got that. So I'll just allow like 1 minute for you to practice that. Then we can move to something else again. cd-, exactly. So cd- has taken you to the previous working directory where you were. You understand?
I missed the screen command.
Please, who is speaking? So that I can address you.
Command. The clear screen command.
The clear screen command. The clear screen command is clear. Here is it. Clear is a clear screen command. So once you type clear, it clears your screen. Okay, so if I do enter now, my screen is cleared. So it starts from the beginning, all over again. Okay, so I think that is quite simple. The next command that we are going to be working on is going to be command number 12. So I'm going through 1 to 12, but I'm not going sequentially. I'm following a logical flow so that you'll be able to relate. So I'm not going sequentially as it is in the textbook. So next, I want to go to I want to create a directory on the desktop. You know, I want to create a directory on the desktop, and I'm calling that directory. Okay, so one recent thing that happened to me, I was at the airport yesterday. I spent about 5 hours. I got to the airport around maybe 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. I did not get on the flight until like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. I was very angry. So we'll use that as an example. So on the desktop, we'll create a folder, and that folder is going to be called what is the name of the folder? The folder we are going to call the folder airport. We are going to call that folder airport. So because now the instruction is to create a folder on the desktop. So I want to navigate to my desktop to go and create that folder on my desktop. Although it's not necessary that you have to navigate to that folder. So you understand? There are other ways you can create. There are other ways you can actually create. There are other ways you can create a folder without necessarily navigating to the desktop. But I want to just follow the simple way. So for now, I want to navigate to my desktop. My desktop cd/home/ad user/desktop. Yeah. So now I'm on my desktop, and I want to make a directory that is command number 12 on your textbook. Make directory, and the name of that directory is called desktop. No. The name of that directory is called airport. The command for making directory is mkdir. The command for making a directory is called mkdir. Yes, and the folder that I want to create is airport. So once you enter it, it has actually, once you click enter, it creates the desktop. So very simple, very simple stuff. Just another 30 seconds. Okay, so thank you. So we've created the folder. That folder is called airport. Yes, the folder is called airport. How do you know if you have created that folder? So how do you know that that folder is created? So the command to know whether a folder exists in a directory is called list. ls. So once you do ls, I'm running this ls command on my desktop. If you do ls and you press enter, it's showing all the files that are on the desktop. So there's a file that is called test.csv on the desktop. There's a file that is called train.csv on the desktop. There's a file that is called youtube.r on the desktop, and there's a folder that is called airport on the desktop. So ls is the command, ls is command. Okay, so you have different ability, airport, graduate training, readme. Yeah, so for those at home, if you're on this page, please just signify that you're on the same page, because if you have any issue, just let me know that you have any issue. So airport is going to show you, airport or ls will list all the folders that you have on the right there on the desktop. So we are still making directory mkdir. So mkdir, I want to create so let me stop at this for now. I'll stop at this for now. So the folder I want to create is simply airport. Sure you understand. We can also navigate into that folder. So I'm going to ask somebody at the other side, if I want to navigate into this airport folder now, and I want to make it my present working directory, what command am I going to type? So I'm asking, hold on. I'm asking TT. No, I'm not asking TT. Let me see. I'm asking Ayola. So Ayola, what command, if I want to change my directory to airport, what command am I going to type on the screen?
I believe we should just type change directory, then airport.
Change directory, you mean CD?
Yes.
CD airport.
No, //
So this is CD airport. Is that it?
Airport.
I should do a / Abi?
Yes, before the airport.
Before the airport. Okay, so / then airport.
Then another slash.
Another slash. But I created this airport on the desktop. Remember, so I'm running your command. this is the command you asked me to run, enter. It's saying no such file or directory exists. So I'm asking, who else am I going to ask? Let me check this one. So I'm asking Babatunde, what command will I run in order to change my directory to airport?
It needs the full address. If it is window, that's what she said will work. But on this thing, you have to say cd space/home/ad user/desktop/airport.
Thank you. /desktop.
No, you typed home twice.
home/hd user/desktop/airport. So yes, I think Tunde got it. Here's it. So now if you do present working directory, it's now pointing to the airport. So you can see it's like a combination of all those things that we have learned together. So you need to be explicit. So what Tunde said is that you need to be explicit in naming your address. Yes, Tunde is correct. Most of the time, when you are explicit in naming your address, you cannot be wrong. You cannot be wrong. But at times, you just feel like, why do I need to type all of this in? It's too long. There's actually another short way you can get it done. So I'll do CD minus, for instance. So this is where I was before. I was on the desktop before. So if I just said CD airport, Tunde said I should type. So this is what Tunde asked us to type. Here's it. This is it that I highlighted. This is what Tunde asked us to type. cd/home/ad user/desktop. I typed it and it moved to the airport directory, and I did pwd and it came in there. You understand? So that is correct. This is absolute referencing. That's why they call relative referencing. So I just said cd airport here. Let's see whether it's going to work. Yes. Look at it. It's working. cd airport. Now, what is the difference between what I did and what Tunde did and what Ayola did? So let me explain it to you. So Ayola said that you put a / before airport. So what she's asking us to do is that we should go to this / is pointing us to the root directory. There is no airport in the root directory. So what Tunde said we should do is that I should go to root directory, then go to home, go to HD user, go to desktop. From the desktop, I will find airport. That one is correct. From any part of this computer that you run this command, any part of this user, any part of this environment, if you run this command, it will work. This will always work. But because I also now ran another command. I just said cd airport and it worked. Why it works is because I'm working from the desktop working environment. My present working environment is the desktop. Because my present working environment is the desktop, if I run this command, it's going to work. But if I change my present working environment, if I change my directory to maybe root, for instance, if I run that command again, cd airport that I just ran now. I ran it now, it works. I'm running it again. It's not going to work. But if I run Tunde's own, here is Tunde's own. If I run it from the root directory, it's going to work. I've scattered some people said this afternoon. Okay, please, are you following? Titi, what do you think about this? Susan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm following.
Hi, blessed evening, everyone.
Good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon, Susan. Okay, so Titi, what do you think about this? Are you following?
Yes, blessing, I'm following.
Okay, great. So who else can I ask? Smiler. I and Smiler were together on Saturday. Smiler, are you following this? I know you cannot practice it because you've not set up the environment on your PC, but just bear with us. Just follow us from your screen. Okay, but really this is how it works. So there's a lot of things that are working together. So you should be able to blend all the knowledge together. They are not standalone. The knowledge is not standalone. They are all related. So we've done number 14, which is present working directory. We've done number 12, which is creating a directory. We've learned how to navigate through those directory. So let's do print. Yeah, it's print working directory. I call it present working directory, but it's also called print working directory. So let's move some files around. So let's move some files around, or let's copy file. Let's start with copying files. That's number 7. Let's start with copying files. Let me just look for a file somewhere, and then let's copy that
Sorry,
file.
hi, blessing.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Please
take you back. Number 7 you're calling now is in reference to what now? Where are we? Number 7.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
So
Page 11, item number 7 on that page 11, copy files and directories.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that is what we want to do. That is what we want to do next. So now I want to copy. So we've created a folder. We've created a directory that is called airport. I want to copy a file into this folder that is called airport. It's empty. We just created the folder like that. So I want to go and look for a file to copy from somewhere. So I move. There's another command, cd ... If you do cd ... it will take you back. It will take you back by one directory. cd space ... it will take you back by one directory. If you do cd ... again, it will take you back by another one directory. If you check your if you print your working directory, you're an HD user. So there are many ways of navigating. cd- will move to your previous working directory, regardless of whatever it is. And cd ... it's your current working directory. It's your current location. cd ... is the previous, is your parent, is your immediate parent, not the root now. cd/ is the root working directory. So I did cd ... to move from airport to desktop. Then I did cd ... again to move from desktop to HD user. There must be space. Remember, there must be space. There must be space. That makes it easy. So yeah. So now I'm checking. There's a command. Remember that I mentioned the other time. ls. It lists all the files that you have in a particular directory. So the present working directory or the present working directory is /HD user. So I want to list the files that are there, and I want to copy one of the files to the desktop. So there is this file, debbie.log. Yeah, I want to copy this debbie.log from this directory. I want to copy it into the airport folder that we created on the desktop. Yeah, that's what I want to do next. So in order to be able to do that, I'll clear my screen again. Clear my screen. So after clearing my screen, I do my listing. So I'm copying this file. Where's the file? debbie.log. This is a file I want to copy. I want to copy it from this directory. I want to copy it to the airport directory. So the command is very simple again. The command is cp. The command is cp. Okay. And the name of the file is debbie.log. And where am I copying it to? I'm copying it to /home/hduser/desktop/airport. So this is the command. cp means copy. Then what do you want to copy? I want to copy debbie.log. Where am I copying it to? I'm copying it to /home/hduser/desktop/airport. Then I'll press enter. Once you do that and you don't get any error message, it means that it's successfully copied. Let me see if there's something else I can copy. There is another log. I want to copy again. I want to copy this log. I want to copy this log. No, I'm not copying that. I want to copy something else. Yeah. So I want to copy something. So there's a folder. There's a folder that has data set. There's a folder that has data set in this my present working directory. You can see data set in this present working directory. Can you see it? Here is data set. Here is data set in this present working directory. So I want to navigate to that folder. To navigate to that folder, CD data set. I move into that folder. Then again, I want to check the content of the folder. To check the content is ls. So in this folder, we have employees.csv file. I want to copy this employee.csv file and lines.csv file. I want to copy it into the airport folder that we have on the desktop. Please ask your question. Okay, you are not following. Okay, so I'll clear my screen. I'll just do a recap. So what have we done before now? We went to a directory, cd/home/ad user. We copied the file debi.log and we put it in the folder that we created on the desktop. Then we want to copy some other files again into that folder that we have on the desktop. And the file that we want to copy is on data. It's in data set. So it's in this particular working directory. It's in /home/ad user/data set. This is the directory where you have the data. Yeah. So I navigated to that directory. I've navigated to this data set. There's S in front of it. I navigated to this data set directory. Yeah. So I navigated to this data set directory. So in this data set directory, yes, yeah. So I'm in data set directory. I did a listing of all the files that are in this data set directory. So after navigating into this directory, I did a listing of all the files that are in the directory. So I can see additional data set folder. I can see employee files. I can see load data 1, load data 2. These are all sample files that we'll be using for our examples in this class. But the task now is to copy 2 files, and the 2 files we want to copy is copy employee from this folder and copy lines from this folder into the airport folder that we created. So it's just going to be CP. So I'm not going to tell you the command. I want you to just write out CP employees/home/HD user/desktop and what is that last thing? Airport. Then there's okay.
Let's do that desktop there before I have to do it.
/airport. So let me explain this command. CP means copy. Employees.csv is the file that you want to copy. Then /home/ad user/desktop/airport is the location where you want to copy the file to. This is case sensitive. Linux is extremely case sensitive. If you have capital employees, if you mistakenly go and type small employees.csv, it will generate an error. If you forgot to add this .csv, if you forgot to add it in front of your employees file, it will also tell you that you cannot find the file, because there can be employees.csv, there can be employee.txt in the same location. There can be employee.txt, there can be employee.txt in the same location. So you need to be explicit in Linux. Yes. Yeah. So this is this is a TP employee.csv, and the file is copied. Then the other one that I want to copy is lines.csv. Copy lines.csv. Lines.csv. I will explain this again. Because someone is by my side here, and if he's not getting it, then it's likely people at the other side are not getting it. So first of all, understand the format of the command. The format of the command is cp copy. Then what do you want to copy? Then you leave a space. What do you want to copy? You want to copy employee.csv. You specify it, employee.csv. It is case sensitive. You cannot use small letter where there is capital letter. If you forgot to do that, you will get an error. Then you leave another space again. Then you now specify the location where you want to dump the file. That is extremely very important. So while I allow you to do that, I want to quickly navigate to the airport directory and see if those files have been copied into that directory. Okay, so you can see in the directory, you have 3 files in that airport directory. You have employees.csv, you have lines.csv, and you have debbie.log in that directory. So please, if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. If you are not following, please let me know where you are having issues. Ayola, Suzanne, Titi, Tunde, Smiler, Eric. Shehu is also on the call. Shehu, special recognition to Shehu. Shehu is my customer, and it's also a very good friend. I don't want to reveal his identity, but I want to recognize his presence in this class. Shehu is a data scientist with one of the banks in the land. Who has his I thought he disconnected. He's connecting back again. Yeah, so your presence is recognized in the class. Then there's Eric in the class, Nyla is in the class. I hope you are following. I follow case sensitive. You are not in the data set directory. You need to be in the data set directory to run this command. Okay, so now, so that is how to copy. So that is how to copy files. So to confirm if what you have copied is correctly copied, you change your directory again to the airport directory. You change directory to airport. So once you change directory to airport, then you can go and check all the files that you have copied into that particular location. There is one part. This part is, a lot of people have issues with this particular part. And I want to carefully address this part, and that is the changing permission directly. This is extremely very, very important. Or maybe, yes, because it's also going to take us a while to be able to address it. So I want to go to that point number 5, changing access directory. It requires some little mathematics. Yeah, it requires some little mathematics. Yeah. So you now change directly to CD, how to did it, this command. CD, how to did it that time, CD slash home slash HD user slash desktop. Exactly, desktop. Yeah. Then airport. Yeah. So you can now list it to see what you have there. So you copy debit of log. So thank you. So now one more part. So the other part you can easily follow it. So let me tell you some of the parts that I have skipped. Creating a tab file. Creating a tab file is like creating a zip file. Creating a zip file. So you have, so in this particular directory now, you have debit.log. In airport directory, you have debit.log. You have employee.csv. You have lines.csv, for instance. Because you have all of these different files, you may want to like zip them into a single file. You don't want to have multiple, zip them into a single file. So it's in Linux, it's like creating a tar file. So there are commands for creating a tar file. And that is the example number 2 that you have in that on page 10. That is that example number 2. So you can create a tar file, which you can easily run that following the command. You can create it and you can extract what you have created. So if you are given a zip file too or a tar file, you can unzip that file. You can extract the content of that tar file. Very, 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 very simple. Very, very simple stuff. I will allow you to do that, so that when you, and how you learn is by making mistakes. Well, how you learn, yes, how you learn is by making a lot of mistakes. You know, when you make a lot of mistakes and eventually got it, you now realize, okay, this is how not to do it, and this is how to do it. How to find the file? Maybe we'll practice how to find the file before we leave. Okay, one more thing. Let's do number 4. Do that number 4 example. Printing the content of a file. So for instance, here you have debit.log, you have lines.csv, you have employee.csv. We want to even check what is the content of this debit.log. If you want to check the content of debit.log, the command is cat.debit.log, you know. So this is going to list the content, it's listing the content, or it's going to display the content of that file. It's similar to you opening a notepad. It's like you opening a notepad. You want to see what is in the notepad. So this is like cat debit.log is going to open the content of this file that is called debit.log. If you want to open lines.csv, so let me clear my screen. I list what I have. So this is what I have. So I want to check the content of lines.csv. If I want to know the content, just look at lines.csv and then you enter. It's a lot of file. It's got a lot of content in it. It's a CSV file, but it just listed it out on my screen. I'll just do the debit.log one again. That one is yeah. So here is debit.log. So it just like echoed on the screen the content of that file debit.log. This evening we are going to be creating our own file from this particular environment. I know some people are lost, but I'll just take it. I'll take it easy. There'll be a lot of recap. I plan at least for the rest of December, for the rest of the classes that we are going to be having in December before we go on break. It's what we have taught before that we are going to be teaching again, just to make sure that we drive home the knowledge. We we try as much as possible not to rush through the class so that people can master the basics. If you master the basics, when we get to those difficult and hard stuff, you'll be able to follow. So that is how to simply list the content of a file. Now, yes, enter. Yes, so because that part, so where's your present working directory? Your present working directory matters. The present working, where it's not working is that you are not in that location that has, you are not in airport. You are not, maybe I should say you are not at the airport. So you need to navigate to the airport before you can run that command. So you need to change your directory to the airport. Yeah, you need to change your directory to the airport. This command, you need to run this command in order to run the cat command. Okay, so this part is very, very important. This part is very important, and that is changing the access permission for a particular user. And there is going to be a lot of classwork. I'm going to be throwing things at us to do for this particular class. So in Linux environment, when you create a file, in Linux environment, when you create a file, that file has a permission. The file has a permission, and when they say has a permission, has access rights and access privileges. And what does that mean? What that means is that if you create a file, that means you are the owner of that file. So you are the owner of the file. You can specify what can be done on that file. Sure, you understand? There are three kinds of operations that can be performed on a file. Number one operation that you can perform with file is read, the next one is write, and the next one is execute. Read, write, or execute. Those are the three types of command that you can read, write, or execute. These are the three types of operations that you can perform on a particular file. This is just the basics. There are other adaptations of it, but yeah. So for any file, there are three kinds of operations that you can perform on that file. It's either you read the file, or you write the file, or you execute the file. You understand? So that is number one. Those are three operations you can perform. Then there are three categories of user that can also exist in Linux. Number one is you, the owner of the file. You are a type of user. Number two is other users that are within the same group with you. Then number three is other users. So you take a company, for instance. There is you in that company. There are other colleagues of yours that you are working in that company. And there are other people who are not working in that company. So the level of access you can have in your office. So within that your office, there is you have your own desk and your space. You have people who work in your company that can access some particular location within that office. But in some cases, you also have guests that come to the office. When guests come to the office, there is a particular privilege or access privilege you can grant to that guest that comes to the office. You understand? Some you ask them sit down in the waiting room. But if it's the plumber, he wants to come and fix something. One particular location that nobody gets in the office, you can take the plumber to go to that location to go and fix it within the office. You need to grant that plumber access to that location. And after he actually did what he has to do, you will revoke that access so that he does not get a backdoor entry into that location. So the same way it applies with Linux. And I try to explain things based on real life occurrences, so you get. Now, when you have a file, there's a set of privileges that can be on that file. So how do you know the set of privileges that are on the file? Now, just now, we copied a file that is called debit.log. So let's see the type of privilege that is on debit.log and how you know it. You list in your airport directory, you list all the files that are there. ls a minus l, ls minus small letters, ls minus al, ls space minus al. Enter. So when you see the screen, some things are displayed on the screen. Let's focus on debit.log. This particular user, debit.log, or this particular file, debit.log. Let's look at the type of privileges that are on this debit.log. So you can see, okay, so I'll explain a few things. You can see, you can see write, you can see read, write, then minus. You can see read, minus, minus. You can see read, minus, minus. If you come to employee.csv, you can see read, write, execute. Then you can see read, then minus, minus. You can see read, dash, dash. It's actually called dash. It's made that it's called minus. If you go up a little bit, if you come to this directory, this dot is the parent directory. It's a folder. So D means it's a directory. D means it's a directory. It means you can read, write, and execute this directory. You can read or execute this directory. You can read and execute this directory. Why do you have repetitions? Why do you have repetition? So now the first RWX, the first three characters, okay, let me, for this first character, specifying whether it's a directory or Zytes. Sorry, I think you couldn't hear me for some time there. This D is specifying whether it's a directory or it's not a directory. That's what this D is specifying. This, so you can see RWX, you can see another repetition of these three characters or this format. You can see another repetition here. What does it mean? This RWX, it's for the owner of the file, the user who owns that file. He may not be the creator of the file. Another person can create the file and assign somebody else to it as the owner. So I can build the house. After building that house, for that, the guys in real estate, I can build the house and assign somebody else as the owner of the house. I sell it to the person, So this is for the owner of the file or the directory. This is for other users within the same group. These three permission rights. Right. Yeah, these are permission access or privileges that are assigned to other users. Within the same user group as the owner. Yeah. And this third one, it's for other people that don't belong to the same group as the user. So number one is for the owner. Number two is for other users that belong to the same user group. And number three is for other users that don't belong to the same user group. That is simply what it means. So let's see. We can actually alter this. We can change all of this. So you can change the access right. So now for this file, file debit.log. Now what this means is that the owner of this file can read it and write it, but cannot execute it. That's why it is dash. Other users in the same group with him, can read it, but they cannot write it. Write means that they cannot modify it and they cannot execute it. Then also, other users that don't belong to the same group with him can read it, but they cannot write it and they cannot execute it. You understand? We can change this permission right. So in order to change this permission right, the command is change MOD, change mode, CHMOD. There is change directory.
Oh.
In this case, it is change mode. That is the name of that is CHMOD. You know, now what do we want to change it to? Now I want to change it that all user would be able to read and to write and to execute this file. So I want to change it to RWX. So for this Debbie.log, I want to change it to RWX. What that means is that the owner can read and write and execute it. Users in the same group with the owner can read and write and execute it. Other users that are not in the same group can read and write and execute it. How do I change that? So the command is change mode minus or /R. Then the permission right. What I want to grant to all the users is read, write, and execute. So for the owner, I'm granting a 7. For the owner, I'm granting a 7. So if you look at your textbook, if you look at that table that is on your textbook, 7 means read, write, and execute. Okay. So why is the number? Why is it a 3-digit number? The first digit is for the owner. The second digit is for the other users in the same group as the owner. The third digit is for the other users that are not in the same group with the owner. Here you get. So now 777. 777 means that all of them, the owner can read, write, execute. Others in the same group can read, write, execute, and everybody can read, write, execute. Then what's the name of the file? The name of the file is Debbie.log. So when you do enter and you now do ls-al, you see the permission right has changed from what it was before. Before it was just RW minus, then R minus minus, then R minus minus, or R dash dash. But now it's RWX, RWS, RWS. It means that all users, anybody. So this is a location in that your office where everybody can have all kind of access and all kind of privilege in it. So you can create a file. Anybody can modify this file. So if you are creating a game application, anybody can access it to any level. So you should understand. That is what it means.
So it's now different here. Debbie.log.
Say that again.
Because of the changes you have made now.
Yes.
The RWX, you have the RWX.
Yes.
User.
Yes.
Those in the same user group.
Yes.
And those outside the same user group. All of them can both read, write, and execute
that file. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so now it's now my turn to ask my question. So I need to revoke access from every user apart from the owner of this file. I want to revoke all access from all users. Okay, so I think I'm disconnected from the class and I'm back in the class. So sorry for that break in transmission. But I think I'm back in the class. So now I have a task for every I'm going to call you. So just be prepared. So, and this is the task that I have. And this particular task goes to Tunde. So Tunde, what I want to do is that I want to revoke all access from every user apart from the owner of the file. And the only access I want to give to the owner of the file is just read, write access. But for every other user, I don't want them to read the file. I don't want them to write the file. I don't want them to execute the file. What command will I execute in order to be able to achieve this? No, I'm asking today. For.
You use the change mode command.
Okay. So, can you tell us what code are we going to use?
I can't remember.
Okay, so let me explain. I just explained it. So I just explained it. I just explained it now. So it's not what to remember. Sure, you understand? It's what to know. So let me explain the task. The task is that I want to revoke, read, write, and execute from every other user apart from the owner of this file. And for the owner of the file, I only want to maintain read, write access alone for the owner of the file. Apart from that, it should not have execute access, and other users will not have any access to this file whatsoever. What is the command?
I need help from the class.
Okay, so Osazu, I want to help us.
So we have change mode.
Okay.
According to what we have, we will then have the minus arrow, and the number 6 only gives room for the main user,
okay,
to only read and write.
Okay.
And since we are revoking the entire rights from the other persons, which includes those in the same domain and those outside the domain, we just put 0, 0 there. And if you get
that is correct. That is 100% correct. So let's try it. So once you execute it, then let's see. So when you write, so you look at it now. So here's it. So now the owner of this file only has read, write access, does not have execute access, and every other user does not have access to this particular file. So this is perfectly okay. Okay, so one more question, and that goes to the ladies. So what we want to do is that we just want to give only read and execute access, to the 3 categories of users that you have, to the owner of the file, and to the owner of the file and the people in the same group with it, and the other people that are not in the same group with the owner of the file. We just want to give read and execute access alone. That's what we want to give to that user. So what is the command? I'm calling Titi to please help us in this regard.
Okay. We put our change mode, that's the CHMOD. Okay, and then the code for reading and executing is 5. So since that's what we want for the 3 categories, the owner, the other user in the same group with the owner, and then other users in other group, then we're going to use 5 in 3 places.
Thank you. So that is correct. Okay, so when we check that, when you check it, you can see everybody has read. Everyone has read write. Everyone has read write, read write, read write. Thank you. That is completely correct. So I'm assuming that that is length. So for the sake of time, so please go through the other examples that we have skipped. They are just simple stuff. But I believe we would have some other time to go through them again if we are not going through them in this class. So I want us to go through VI command editor. So I'm clearing my screen. Yeah. So let's go to VI command editor. So I want us to create a file. So what we have done is that we've created a folder. We have moved files from a particular location into a folder. We have changed present working directory. We have changed access right to a particular file, etc., etc. So now what we want to do is I want to create a file. So in order for us to create a file in this particular command prompt environment or in this terminal environment, in order to create a file, there's a particular utility that you use in order to create that file. It's called VI. And in order to invoke that VI, the command is just VI. This you need this a lot. If you want to modify your command, you want to modify your script, you need this a lot. So the command is VI. So I want to create list of airlines. Remember, we are in airport. So because we're in an airport, or we're in airport folder. So I want to create list of airlines. So the name of the file I want to create is airline.txt. Or yeah, let's just call it airline.txt. So airline.txt. I'll take a 1 minute break, then I'll be back. Okay, so I want to create a file now, and that file is going to have the list of airlines. That is simply what I want to do. So I just want to create a file, and I want to create that file in the airline folder that we created on the desktop. So in order to do that, you do vi.txt, and the file is created. The file is open, maybe not created yet until when you save it, but it has opened the environment for airline.txt. If you type, sorry, escape. I will close this. Let me open a new terminal to do this. Terminal. Okay, so view, zoom out, so that you can see my screen well. Okay, so VI airports, airlines, airlines.txt, enter. So this, if you type, nothing is appearing except you move into what they call insert mode. So this particular text editor can either exist in regular mode or exist in insert mode. Insert mode allows you to insert characters inside it. It allows you to modify the content. While the regular mode just allow you to type, but you cannot edit the content. You cannot edit the content. So Q. Yeah, so I just exited, then I'm entering it again. I did not save anything I did. So insert mode. I will explain it. I will explain it. So when you type, I'm typing on my keyboard. I'm typing on my keyboard, but nothing is entering. It's because I've not entered insert mode. So if I want to enter insert mode, I'll press I. If I press I on my keyboard, and now start pressing, it will start appearing. You can see. So let me escape. This is a bit difficult, but it's good to master it. If I want to escape this, I don't want to save this. I just want to quit. I'll press escape on my keyboard. Once I press escape on my keyboard, it has changed the mode. So I takes it to that insert mode, while escape returns it back to the regular mode. So I takes it to insert mode, escape returns it, takes it out of that regular mode and puts it back in, takes it out of insert mode into regular mode. So yeah, so Q quits. So I'm going to take that again. I've mastered it so much that I just type without properly explaining. So I'm conscious of that. So I just exited without saving anything. Shift 1. Yeah. So now again, this is VI mode. If you type BN, I'm typing on my keyboard, nothing is appearing. But when I press I on my keyboard, it goes into insert mode. I've pressed I now. So when I start typing my BN, it will start appearing. It's appearing. And if I want to save all of these jargons that I have typed on my screen, there's a way to do it. If I want to quit without saving, there's a way to do it. So if I want to quit this, I press escape. Once I press escape, it goes into regular mode. Then I will now press shift colon, then I type Q with shift 1. So look at it at the bottom. When I type this, it means quit without saving. So this that I'm typing at the bottom means quit without saving. Means quit without saving. Then I press enter. So it has quit without really saving. Now I want to go and do that again. I press I on my keyboard. I'm in insert mode. I type all sorts of stuff I want to type inside it. After doing all of that, this time around, I want to save this. If I want to save this, I'll type shift colon. No, sorry. And I'll enter escape. I enter regular mode. I type shift colon. Then I'll now type WQ. Is it WQ or QW? WQ, let's see. Then enter. It has exited, but it has saved it. So if I try to open it again, it will bring up what I saved. The other time, it did not bring anything up because I did not save it, but this time around, it saved it. So I'm going to start all over again because I know that you are not following all of that. So let me start all over again. So to start all over again, what do I do? This regular mode. Yes. Okay. So I simply deleted that line so that the file is fresh. So VIL line here's my VI airline. So you want to create any file, you want to create the list of students that are in this class. You just type VI list of students. You to create that file, list of student.txt. So you've created that file. Now you now want to insert, you now want to like type your characters. Those in the way you open a notepad and start typing things into notepad. That is what you want to do here, but it's not like that straightforward. So for you to be able to achieve that, you need to enter insert mode. You press I. So once you press I, you've entered insert mode. Now I want to start listing the airlines that I know. I know Arik Airline. Enter. I know Dana Airline. Enter. I know Aero Contractor. Enter. I know which other ones. Air Peace. I know Max Air. I know Liso Airline. I know Bell Airline. What else do I know? Dana, I've entered Dana. There is this one I almost boarded yesterday. Medview Airline. Yeah. So these are the airlines. So I've created a file that has all of this. Now I want to save this. It's not saved yet. If you don't save it, if you just close it, you lose everything. So how do I save it? You press escape on your keyboard. Once you press escape on your keyboard, it goes into regular mode. Then you now type :WQ and you press enter. Once you press enter, it is saved. Remember, we said that there's a command. If you want to check the content of a file, there's a command to check the content of a file. Remember, what is the name of that command? No, it's not ls. ls is to check the content of a directory. Cat is the command to check the content of a file. So cat airline. If you do cat airline.txt, you see those are the stuff that we have created. So can you try this at home? If you have any issue, you call my name, then I will help you to sort it out. Try it at home. If you have any issue, you ask me any question. But I'm very sure you have some people who have issues trying this. So try this and call me if you have any issue. I will wait for like 3 minutes for you to be able to get it done.
Escape :WQ.
No, you don't need to put that. Let's see. Cat airline. Yeah, it's saved. So you got it.
Why is it saying not found?
No. It's not saying not found. Where is not found? That one was the one you ran before. It's not the one you ran after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is not found. So let me call it. Titi, are you trying this? Are you able to do it? Sunday, are you able to do this?
I bless you. I'm not able to do it. So this thing, it seems my page is even different from what you have.
Okay, so can you share your screen? Can you share?
Let me share my screen.
Share your screen so that we can support you from here.
Okay. You might need to stop sharing.
Okay. Once you start sharing, it's going to stop sharing this.
Okay. Okay, so this is my screen.
It's coming up at me.
Yeah, I'm sharing already. Can you see?
It's coming up. Yes, it's
Okay.
up. Correct. Okay. So, oh yeah. So let's go. Start it again.
How?
So start again.
I should clear. I should clear everything.
Clear your screen and start again. Let's see.
Okay, I've cleared.
So what do you want to do first of all? You
I
want
want
to
to create
create
a file
file,
now.
have a list of airlines in it. Is
Yes.
that it? So
Yes.
go on. Go on.
I don't know where to start from.
Okay. Okay. So so now to do that, vi.airline, vi space airline.txt. Okay, so I'm going to vi airline.txt.
CSC.
X. So you want to, so what you're trying to do, you are invoking a command that will create a test file, and the name of that test file is airline. Then enter. So once you do this, don't type anything. Even if you type, it's not going to work except you enter insert mode. So to enter insert mode, first of all, press I on your keyboard. Press I on your keyboard once. When you press it once, then you are in insert mode. Now you can start typing the name. You can now start typing the name of airlines that you know.
Remember them. Harris Belgium.
First Nation, Aero Contractor.
Okay.
Aero Contractor. Chachangi Airline. I know you can spell Chachangi Airline.
I can't spell it though.
You are typing Chagari Airline.
Anyone. That's right.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so let's stop at that. So now to save this, you need to first of all press escape on your keyboard. So pressing escape on your keyboard will take you out of, you've done that. I can say that you've done that because there's a way the cursor changes when you go from insert mode to regular mode. So you've done that. So you now press, you now do colon, shift, colon, shift, colon, WQ.
Okay, in this same place.
Yes.
Okay,
you
column.
can see at the bottom. It's appearing at the bottom.
Yes.
WQ. So that is a command to save it. Enter. So the file is created. So if you do ls minus al, for instance, in that airport directory, ls minus al, enter. You see that airline.txt is in that directory. If you also decide to do cat airline.txt, you see that the file is created and the content is there. Yeah, so it looks simple, but I want you to try it again. For everybody that is in this class, I want you to try that again and do it for the list of people that are in this class. So create a file. The name of the file will be studentlist.txt, and it's going to have the names of everybody that is in this class. Or you'll be able to see that from your screen. You'll be able to see that from your screen. So I want you to do that, and then I'll see it tomorrow. I'll see that tomorrow by the time we meet physically tomorrow. I hope to see that tomorrow. So that is the homework I'm giving to everyone. Okay, so thank you for that, Titi. I'll quickly run through a few things that will be very useful, for this class. Let me for this VI command. I'll run through a few stuff. Yeah, stop sharing her. Okay, you are checking. So for this example that we have just tried now. For this example we have just tried, there are a few things. So escape turns off the insert mode. I takes you into insert mode, while escape takes you out of insert mode. If you want to do a backspace, if you want to go backward, H can help you to do a backspace. K can help you to do an up arrow key, while J can help you to do a down arrow key. L can help you to do a right arrow key. If you want to navigate up, down, left, right, all those commands can help you to navigate all of that. If you want to delete a line, if I want to delete a line, for instance, I'll do this. vi.line.txt. I'm in insert mode now. I'll press I on my cursor. I want to delete the first line. If I want to delete the first line, I'll need to press D 2 times. If I press D 2 times, it will delete this arc line. No. So in escape mode, I press D 2 times. So for arrow contractor, I made a mistake with arrow contractor. I want to delete that line. So if you press D 2 times, it will delete it. Then so simply that it's out. If I want to delete 3 lines, I press 3DD. If I press 3DD, it will delete 3 lines. If I press 2DD, it will delete 2 lines. And if you want to exit, you press :WQ. If you want to save, when you exit, you do :WQ. You all try that. So feel free to practice all of this by the time you are creating the list of people in the class. So it's on this note that we are going to be ending today. Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. If you don't have any question, I hope to see you tomorrow. If you'll be coming around, I hope that we'll see tomorrow. But of course, see, we are running a hybrid class. There are people that are going to be remotely connected to the class. The link has been sent to everyone. I think from the subsequent class, we are going to have a permanent link. We will not need to be sharing. We might not need to be sharing, changing the links every now and then. There will not be a permanent link to the class. This particular class is recorded, so if you also want the recording, we are going to be making it available to you. Once again, I thank you for coming to the class and thank you for making it interactive. Tomorrow, we'll continue with the practical session, and tomorrow we are going to be looking at practicing Hadoop distributed file system command, HDFS command. That's what we are going to be looking at tomorrow. So how to list a Hadoop directory, how to list subdirectory in Hadoop recursively, how to create a directory. So some of these things that we have done in Linux environment, we are now going to be doing it in big data environment. Those are the things that we are going to be doing tomorrow. And those are the stuff that are in pages 16, 17, 18, and 19, and 20. So I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope you find tomorrow's class very interesting. Thank you once again.
Thank you. So if I'm not saving the VI file, what do I do?
If you what?
If I am not saving the VI file, for example, if I want to edit and I find
So
that my...
if you are not saving the VI file, if you are not saving it, that is page 13, page 13, that is the last line in page 13 of your workbook, is Q colon. So you enter escape mode, you press escape, you press escape on your keyboard, then you type Q and exclamation mark. So say the changes that I did now, say I'm not saving it, look at my screen. The changes I did now, you know I did some changes, I deleted some stuff. But if I don't want to save it, I just type colon Q, then this sign, this apostrophe mark, then you type it. So once you type this and you press enter, it's not going to save all of those changes that I did. So if you look at it again, Arik is still there, error contractor is still there with the error that is in it. Do you get it, Ayola?
Yes, sir. I do. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you once again, everyone. Please do have a great day and see you tomorrow.